Hello everybody, my name is Petr Koutný and today I am going to show a game when Judit Polgar is beating Garry Kasparov. Yes, she is beating one of the strongest chess player ever, and I hope that you will enjoy this game as you will enjoy this video. So if I'm right, feel free and press like or press follow and made my day. So we are going to watch Berlin Defense, and Berlin Defense used to be very popular and a solid chess opening for black. Why? Because looks like both players are not interested to play middle game and they are going immediately for endgame, where black is enjoying two bishops advantage, but white is enjoying better pawn formation and of course pawn majority 4 against 3. Okay, what's more? Now we are in a typical position and both players has to show us how they will play this position. So knight c3 makes sense, h6 and rook d1. And now h3 happened and bishop e7. That's a main theory. So g4 is a variation which is going to help us to understand next coming moves. g4 is going to help white to exchange this knight, and I think that here this is a typical position where still black is a little bit more passive, but he's hoping for his two bishops advantage. White is hoping for his better pawns. Yes, let's come back because that was only variation, because white decided to play knight e2 and now black played knight h4. So we are not far from our first variation, what we saw in past, and now white is taking this knight and she is not playing move g4. Now she played move bishop e3 and after bishop f5 she played knight d4. So nicely she's attacking bishop on f5 and of course she is taking care about important c2 pawn. So now looks like black is searching for the best squares for his bishops, and maybe now he missed a chance because he played bishop h7, and of course this move is not a terrible bad, but is going to block this rook. And maybe if black is going bishop g6 at the end, when black will open h-file, will get extra tempo because h-file will be important file for black's counter-attack or counterplay. So yes, as we know, Garry played bishop h7, g4, and now what's so funny? Of course, g4 is important move. Just imagine that here black's plan is to play move c5 and c2 pawn will be under attack. So white is looking forward to jump to f5, and for this reason she needs to play move g4 and she played move g4. Now what's nice, watch this piece on h4. He's going to e7 and f8. So I wonder how is possible to play with this bishop, because this bishop is coming back to f8, and hopefully you remember that this bishop played bishop e7, bishop h4, then come back to e7 and come back to f8. So 4 moves were wasted and this bishop is still on f8. Of course, now after move h5, hopefully we see the difference if this bishop is on h7 or g6. If this bishop is on g6, there is chance to play in open h-file. Here, this bishop is only blocking rook on h8. So Garry Kasparov is facing small difficulties and Polgar is playing nicely. Simple chess. Bishop g6 now, of course, black is looking forward to use open h-file, and white is looking forward to use open d-file. And this game will be interesting because both players will play on open files, but d-file will be much more important and stronger than h-file, and you will see why. So now, okay, black open h-file check, and came back to h7, now f6. Looks like this pawn on e5, it's not nice to black's player, so he decided to exchange this pawn. I think that maybe interesting it was to play move e6 because this pawn is going to help white rook to enter 7th rank, and you will see future that 7th rank is important, so this is nice. Okay, she decided to play bishop f4, and after this exchange we are speaking about double pawns, and f2 pawn and f5 pawn is a double pawn, but it's not a weak pawn at all because still that's 2 pawns against 1. So if one is going to exchange for another one, still there is only one passed pawn, and the typical plan since the beginning of this game till end for white is to play for passed pawn. So nothing changed. White is following still the same plan. Okay, after this exchange and here take and rook e6, white is nearly winning. Why? Because just let's watch difference between black's rooks and white's rooks. Even black will play rook h8, and black will enjoy to play on h file. At least there is nothing to attack. You know, just imagine what's happened after rook h8 and rook h2. Nothing terrible, there is nothing to win, but at the other side, white is attacking important d6 pawn, and you will see that that's a difference between two files. So, as we understand, one rook is going to h8, and now check, and rook d5. There is something to attack, and even black will play check. There is nothing to attack, and of course white is absolutely happy, and white's king is in the center, and this is important for every endgame to play by our king. Lots of players are making a huge mistake in the endgame that they are not playing with king. Even king is one of the most important piece in endgame, and the difference between white's king and black's king is huge. So yes, somewhere here black is losing, and white played now rook c6. Maybe you wonder why black is not going to b7, and that's exactly the answer, because white has something to attack. Rook g6 and pawn on g7 is falling down, and of course if this pawn on g7 is falling, f5 pawn is running and is winning. So that was the reason why Garry played king b8, but one rook on 7 rank and another rook is there. Even black is winning pawn, check, check, and yes, because of big threat checkmate on the last rank, there is nothing to play, because here white will play rook f8. Hopefully she will exchange this rook, and she will go forward with this pass pawn. Simple winning position, and here Garry Kasparov resigned. Nice game, and hopefully you remember what we saw. We saw how both players won a file, but H file was not too important file because there were nothing to attack. Even D file was much more important because white found the targets what to attack, and of course she was much more active in this endgame and she won. That was a beautiful win of the beautiful lady, and I hope that you enjoyed this victory where Judit Polgar won a game against Garry Kasparov. Hopefully you enjoyed and you saw something interesting. Maybe this game will give you motivation, inspiration, or will give you another reason why to play chess. I hope that I'm right and you enjoyed, and I believe that I will see you soon in our another YouTube chess video. So if yes, thank you very much. See you soon and bye bye.